Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we doing, everyone? We all right? Happy Friday. Just rummage around over it. Yeah, you'll do. How's things? Everybody's week's going well? Good. It's been a busy one, hasn't it? It's been a busy 2 weeks, really. Feel like last week was busy. Feel like this week is busy. But it beats being bored, doesn't it? Sure does. So, we're back. We're here. Was going to stream last night, but ended up with stuff to do. So, which ended up not being that magnificent of a success anyway, but what are you going to do? If you haven't seen it, by the way, I did a breakdown on the new Fallout Season 2 trailer. Big old breakdown. Went right through the whole thing with a fine-tooth comb, and there is lots of cool stuff to be seen. And, yeah, really enjoyed it. Did manage to get on my other video today, somebody remarking that the only good thing, like, thought that the series was crap, and it's just because it's full of Easter eggs that people like it, blah, blah, blah. What a miserable bastard. Needless to say, they got binned fast. But speaking of, I did do another video today because there are further patches coming to Fallout 4 in coming weeks. One hotfix early next week, and then a bigger patch the week after, and then a bigger patch a couple of weeks after that. So yeah, that's what the Fallout 4 sitch looks like. Speaking of, I think I am probably going to stream a new playthrough of Fallout 4. That's a tiny bit strong. I might have to go and put some water in that. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I am going to stream Fallout 4. Probably not tomorrow, though. Because I'm thinking I might do a decently modded playthrough. I'm not going to go crazy. It's still going to look like Fallout 4 and feel like Fallout 4. But with, you know, extra bits. So, to that end, I've got, like, 2 pages of mods to look into already over there. And then I'm going to have to press on and work through that. So that's going to take a while tomorrow. So that's probably midday tomorrow is modding Fallout 4. So, yeah, maybe Sunday? We'll see. Did I see the steam machine? Give me 1 minute. But yes, I did. Hang on, I'm going to go and water this down a bit more because otherwise I'm going to die. Excuse me. Yep, that's that done. Right. Yes, did I see the steam machine? I did, and I don't quite know what to make of it, if I'm honest. I like the look of the box. It's very compact and neat and all, but my first thought on that was, how's the cooling going to be? Because you know what the more compact consoles have been like in the past for cooling issues. They've gotten very noisy and had a very hard time staying cool. So that was my first thought. The other thing is the specs are weird. So they are way above where either the Xbox X or the PS5 are. They're way above those. However, they're saying, oh, we're targeting like up to 4K at like high frame rates and stuff. But they are straight up about it requiring FSR, so AMD's equivalent to DLSS, the upscaling tech. So that's fair. And I must agree, the thing that caught my attention particularly about it, well, 2 things in particular. One of them is the GPU's VRAM, which was, I think, 8 gig total, maybe even less than that, might have been 6. I think it might have been 6, actually, which is problematic in that many games are now asking for as much or more VRAM in order to run at all, you know, like just in their recommended specs. So if they're coming in under that, I feel like it's going to be a problem. That being said, well, at least on PC anyway, that being said, a lot of, you know, all these games are going onto Xbox X and onto PS5, both of which are probably have lower VRAM than that anyway. They're certainly based on older hardware. I don't imagine they have a lot. Or maybe there's not that much difference between them in that regard, but still, those games are running these on those systems with lower VRAM. That's so developers making that work is a thing that they're doing anyway, so it might not be that big an issue. But that did catch my eye. The other thing that really caught my eye, and kind of goes through the same will it be a problem, won't it be a problem question, is the RAM on the thing. Now, the basic RAM on it, I think, was, I'm not sure if it was like 8 or 16 maybe. I forget what it was, but it's low. It's not high at all. Now, it doesn't have to do anything other than play games, so there is that. And if it uses it more efficiently, that helps. But the number is not very high, so that did have me scratching my head as well. And I am wondering whether or not it's actually going to be up to snuff. So it's definitely going to be an upgrade over... Well, hardware seems to be an upgrade over the existing consoles, but... I have questions. I'm not convinced. And also, like, both Xbox and PlayStation are lining up towards the next generation of hardware in the next few years. So either this is just ahead of the curve and is going to be on a similar parity level with that, and in which case they're just beating them to the punch, or the next Xbox and the next PlayStation will come along and stomp the Steam machine into the dirt a couple of years afterwards. And they're already on the back foot anyway, because people, for all the issues that Xbox and PlayStation both have, they're in the market already. Steam are not in the market, and they're trying to break in, so they don't have the brand recognition and the sense of, ironically given the situation, trust that people would say they don't have towards Xbox and PlayStation, but compared to an untested brand, they definitely do have that trust, no matter what they say on the subject. So, yeah, we'll see how it does. I shan't be getting one. And there's also a big question mark on the price as well. We've no idea what that'll be. Calling it a PC, it's a funny thing to call it because it's kind of not, but at the same time, it's built on PC concepts and stuff. And Steam OS is not a console OS, it's something else, so it's kind of a PC. Yeah, it's a PC. It's not a PC at all, but you know. Not surprising Steam would do that, given that, you know, they are the PC gaming platform, aren't they? So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Anyway, Outer Worlds, anybody? There was patches today for The Last Caretaker that fixed a bunch of things. Apparently that lift that we were having issues with at that place where we were looking at the oil, I've forgotten the name of the location now, but anyway, place we were at last time, they've apparently patched that lift. They patched a bunch of other stuff that came up as well. It was a really funny thing in their beta branch, though. Because obviously it's in early access, The Last Caretaker, but it also has a beta branch too, before it goes into full early access release. And that... I am in the middle, that's okay. Yeah, that beta branch, they pushed out a test patch to it. And... it had some interesting stuff on it. This version is now out, so they fixed the issue, but everybody jumped in to test it, or the people who were doing that, and promptly found their ships sinking. Just spontaneously going underneath them, and leaving all of the stuff that they built on it exactly where it was, but the ship just disappeared, except for one guy who posted a picture of it there, ended up on top of a structure. It was all very weird. It made some funny clips and stuff as the thing just disappeared and people looking horrified that the boat was gone. But yeah, needless to say, they fixed it quite quickly overnight, but still, was quite funny. Price is listed at $492, is it saying here? I didn't think they'd announced a price. I did hear people speculating on what the price might actually be, but I didn't see one released. Mind you, I haven't looked that closely, so maybe they've come along afterwards with it. But yeah, that will be the right price bracket for the current gen. And probably the next gen as well, because, you know, they might be tempted to say, oh, new stuff, we'll put the price up. People won't pay it after much higher than 500. They're not going to go, they'll just look at that and go, nope, not worth it, not paying that. Might as well get a PC. And they would have a point. Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't really change any of my takes on that, I don't think. To be honest with you. I've got a lot of notifications over here. I suspect some of my grumpy people moaning about Fallout 4 getting more updates. There's a lot of people moaning about that at the moment. Okay, that's not a moan. That's fair. Oh, holy crap. People are going crazy. I'll just quickly double check this. Yeah, well. I'm not going to delete that because it's long and I haven't got time to read it. Sorry. Have any comment there? I think is wildly inaccurate. You're getting blocked because you're a tool. And that's fine. Cool. Right. I'm getting a lot of notification spam.
Why would DeVries betray her fellow agents like that? The rhetorical question. I already know. Just making conversation.
Just kind of know, kind of don't, but I mean, we know what she said, but still. Let's be having the. Him. It's funny. Normally, I block the most people when I well, actually, June is my busiest month for blocking people normally because it's Pride Month, and I always include Pride flags in my camps that month. It's not exactly the biggest gesture of support, but you know, it's a nod. I'm sure it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, and so on and so forth. However, every time I do it, the absolute fucking gammons come out of the woodwork and start going, about the flag, woke, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, thank you very much, the trash takes itself out, and I just go on a blocking spree, and it's good fun, and I'm quite happy about it. So that's normally my busiest month for getting rid of the idiots. However, Fallout 4 updates and mods do see... well, not mods so much, but most of the updates do seem to be doing good work at bringing, well, attracting idiots who then get me playing whack-a-mole or, you know, baseball or something with their comments or something like that. You know, it's been, the block button has been busy the last few days, last week or so. Right, so we're heading down to Dorado, wherein we will continue some quests and things and see what happens. I also noticed some cool stuff last time, like how to tell exactly what classification of weapon a weapon is and things, which is useful given that I'm spec'ing to certain skills and not others, so yeah. This is on chat or comments and videos? As needed, to be honest, Curtis, but mostly on comments on videos so far. I don't really differentiate. Right, fine, let's roll. Golden Ridge, a whole new area. We're looking to meet up with the church group, aren't we? I can never bloody remember what they're called. Oh, radio, interesting. No, I don't want to be there. Oh, so this is what the area looks like. Interesting. No fog of war on it, because I've got a mod to stop that, because beat that shit. Right, journals ordered, because I wanted to... What's the bloody church called? Order of the Ascendant, there we go. I can never remember it. You just Googled it. Interesting. Sounds like you're getting an AI answer there, in which case, not good, not trustworthy either. Or if so, I should say. Right, let's have a look around the landing pad. I'm already liking the look of this place. It's prettier than the last place.
That must be Matriarch's Mercy. Sure think a lot of their royal family, don't they?
Yeah, he's taking a stim that looks more like he's implying he has a willy on his head. UI. Should go looking for a fresh UI mod to hide the UI, or a toggle UI, hide UI mod, because I haven't checked in a while, and we definitely need one. There's the HUD. Oh no, that's because I was doing it another way, wasn't I? Come on. Too many games on the go at once. I can't remember what the heck I'm doing. Journal, turn off the quest and go on to something that won't have a marker. That's what we're doing. All right.
Look, damn, what was that? There ain't been active fighting here in I don't even know how long. We got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
So that's pointing off in this direction somewhere. Interesting. Oh, that's a big hole. Landing pads in this game need a little bit of work, I think. The last one we landed on basically collapsed, and well, it didn't collapse under us, but it had a lot of crap on it that we crushed. This one is collapsing under us, which is, I think we could say suboptimal. Oh, there's a birdie flying there. It's not going to help, is it? Alright, okay. So I have several questions. Don't know that we're going to start with this main story quest. We'll see what happens. What have I got? So I've got... Oh yeah, I got a weird Gauss rifle looking new shock rifle. There we go. And then I've got my Corona pistol. I've got a shotgun tucked away if I need one. And then it's currently incendiary light revolver. It's probably... yeah, okay. I see. Okay. Well, ooh, that doesn't look good. So it looks like we are stuck up here and we've got to find a way down first. Why did we land on this shithole if we can't, you know, we now have to work our way out of here. Why didn't we find an actually viable landing spot? Don't know if we'll get an answer to that in time, but... I assume this is supposed to be viable and isn't.
1061st. Reminder to keep all personal items with you at all times.
Holy shit. Tramcula of expediency. Okay. Reading that has not reduced the number of questions I have. Ah, there's another rift.
Wow, this station's sure going to scrap since last I stepped about. Don't think we'll be hitching a ride anywhere quick.
suspicious activity to your nearest station warden.
Yep. Seen better days, hasn't it? No, come on.
Attention passenger. You are running 21,027.5 hours late for your tram. Please be mindful of your departure in the future.
Interesting. Right.
Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives. Thank you for picking up your personal belongings. We must all work together to keep Golden Ridge beautiful.
Interesting, interesting. What the heck went down here?
Yeah.
I think we'll be going that way at all. There seems to be another route though. Pick. Random place for a mag pick. It's always a bit strange to me that lockpicks would be just lying around or so easily obtainable in any particular world, really. Given that they're clearly intended for nefarious uses. Like, who'd be okay with that? I mean, obviously a locksmith might have a use for it, but it wasn't nefarious. Looks like it's a thing. Yeah. I'm gonna save this before I do something stupid. Well, that wasn't something stupid I was anticipating, but... I did take some damage, didn't I? Nice. Hit an invisible wall there, and I thought I was in deep trouble. I was like, oh, that's just going to be a long way down, isn't it? Nope, it was fine. Fine, actually. It just wasn't a complete disaster.
Good subjects arrive 15 minutes early before missing their tram. Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden.
So, there is a terminal in here. Station reports. Current schedule. Tram 302, 999 minutes behind schedule. Tram 601, 999 minutes behind schedule. Tram 10, at station. Report any trams later than 16 seconds to regional authority. Tram 609, 5 minutes behind schedule. Staff shamed. Tram 813, 9 minutes behind schedule. Staff admonished. Tram 552, 17 minutes behind schedule. Conductor reprimanded and recommended for mental refreshment. Well, conductor there would be the problem, but anyway. Incidents. Citizen found eating food in non-designated areas. Admonishment administered. Recurring incident resulted in increasing admonishment with eventual mental refreshment if not resolved. Citizen fell asleep in common area and loudly snored, disturbing peace in public area. Severe admonishment, recurring offences will be reviewed by an arbiter. Yeah, it seems a little extreme to me. You snort loudly in public. Lobotomize him!
Yeah.
Mural pieces. Our splendor unceasing, for Arcadia no sacrifice is too great. Such was the caption of this mural, assembled painstakingly by a team of sculptors over the course of 6 years, commissioned by Sovereign himself to immortalize Arcadia's bounties. The original mural was deemed too spectacular to confine to one location. Eventually, a decision was made to fabricate copies of the original mural, each of which could be housed in tram stations throughout Golden Ridge. So that the subject may feel a caress of true artistry, each of these copies was made to contain a piece of the original glorious mural. I see, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mural pieces to be found, and we've got to collect the originals. We've got all of the original. To what end, I'm not quite sure, but selling it, probably. It does seem marginally like criminal behaviour, though. Okay, that looks like it's our exit, but before we do that, you see the things you miss if you don't decide to check twice. I don't think there's anything else going on over here other than that now. Right, okay, I just want to double check.
The plan can wait. Our lines will not.
I fear that perhaps they will.
Minutes early to avoid missing their tram.
Let's go. How fast do we suppose this lift is supposed to be moving? Because if it's fast enough for her dangly things to be pointing upwards, then it's no longer a lift, it is a free fall. Somebody's decided it's time to go in search of fodder. Good, you can't get out the door. I thought I left enough room. Plasma grenade. I don't know, small plasma charge. Well, you know, just in case it's something I end up needing. How's my ammo usage look? What does this gun require? Shock rods. And I got lots of those. Okay, don't you worry then.
Looks like folks holed up here after the fighting started. Guess not everybody was eager to take sides.
What fighting? And between who?
Day 206. Morale? Low. Condition? Feeble. Voucher mech. Watching. Always watching. Many have left for Matriarch's mercy, seeking refuge with the Order. The fools. Can't they see the Order is no different from the Protectorate? The Order won't...
Incessant muttering to oneself may disturb fellow passengers. Further conduct violations may warrant notification of the Sentinels.
Try it, you doddering rattletrap! Such threats compel me no longer. I now answer to no one. I've seen through the lies of both sides. In time, everyone will.
Unwarranted optimism may be a sign of a more serious imbalance. Please see a curativist before boarding.
Yeah, that robot probably needs a good clobbering, I think. Shall we? We have an exit.
We got an appointment to keep at Matriarch's mercy. Let's just hope we don't get shelled too.
Yeah, from the look of things, that's where we're going to have to go first. So, Matriarch's Mercy, Alexandra Station, Zeranium Manufactory 7.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please!
I smell a rat.
Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately.
We?
My family and I, we was making our way to the
Was
mercy
you?
camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please.
Okay, lead the way. How badly they hurt? Sorry, I'm off. How badly they hurt?
Very, by my guess. She was bit on the thigh, high, like can see bone. Or maybe white means infected. She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry, or they'll be eaten. Or worse.
All right.
Thank you.
I fully expect this to be an ambush.
This way.
To which end I wish to see what... I think I'll put that in there for a secondary weapon. Yeah, I do think this fellow is about to try and jump me. Where his mates are. There's blood splattered on the rock over there. And there.
Get him, boys. Take care of him, Commander.
Who called it? That will be this guy.
Commander, you're bleeding.
That's true. I am in fact bleeding.
Out of sight and on the way. Let's get you healed. Lay low, Commander. Medic's orders. Medkit.
Got a distraction from you lot couldn't hit the broadside of a fighter.
Oh, that's nails. Well, don't come running in there looking sus then, buddy, if you don't want to get shot. Oh dear. Still not sure how I feel about that gun. Great when it works, but saw somebody running around up top there. Burst assault rifle. Needs a new plan. Plan is good. We kill a lot of dumb people, take their stuff. Hard times. It's hard times to still talk smart. Taking Adrena time makes talking good easy, but after Adrena time it makes it even more harder. So need more Adrena time. We gotta move, find people to steal from, older guys, aunties guys, order guys rather, aunties guys, and angry order guys are all hard to fight. New people's is easy, just need to find a new place to catch them when the order guy's not around. Yeah, this new good plan, we scruppers can do this, just got to keep talking smart and keep talking dumb scruppers in back for ambush. Jesus, that was tough to read. Let's go and have a shufty over here while we're here. Isn't much down that way. Interesting. Does look like a decent weapon, to be fair. Okay, gun. Let's get some meds or some heal on the go. Arachnid heart. Campaign hat. Right. I did see. Oops. More spids not far away.
Back in business.
Got him.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
There's a lot of projectile drop on that gun, which takes a bit of getting used to. Some creepy beasties. Oh, nice. A bunch of valuables in there. Looks like they were mining crystals for something around here. Give it here. Pick the thing up then. Engineer clothing. Pretty sure I'm not going to want that, but it doesn't look that bad, to be fair. Stats are not great, but it's quite a cool looking outfit. So I should be selling them. So they're definitely not as good as what I have. Hey. Looks like we're looping back around to the road there then. Yo. It's fine. Looks like a hand almost. That's the place we're heading. We've got a outpost here first.
Stranger, the order bids you welcome, but also warnings.
Interesting outfit.
In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice,
Ovens.
you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, if you people didn't show up and start invading people's space, you wouldn't get fired upon, would you? Not necessarily saying that that makes them the bad guys per se, but if you attack people, you can't moan that much when they fight back. Although usually being the invader does make you the bad guy. Usually. Actually, to head that way... what was that attack?
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end.
Ceasefire?
Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken.
Well, it weren't our artillery that made that strike. I can tell you that much.
They must have done something to provoke an attack, which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's Mercy.
Yeah, I mean, their being there alone is arguably that, but still. What else is going on
The
there?
Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack.
And the zealots are out there.
Cultists, mad to the last one. I believe they worship the rifts or some such. People will turn to anything to ease their discomfort during times of crisis, I suppose.
People do be nuts on occasion. What were you saying about scabbers?
They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence.
Sounds about right.
They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes.
Yeah, we've
There are
met them.
several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance.
And the creatures?
The creatures are of the genus Varachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
All our efforts add to the equation.
Right.
I don't see anything else coming. Was it just the one?
Interesting. They don't seem to know either. Good. I don't think it's a good idea right now. Right. So this southerly side of things is Order territory. This area seems to be a bit more wild, and somewhere up here is where Aunties are holed up.
Tired of vacuously untrue statements with their unsatisfying antecedents? At the Order of the Ascendant, our predictions are both sufficient and necessary for your positive outcomes. Come by our predictory today, where we will share with you our deductions and their contra-positive implications.
Interesting. So that's where we were, I think, because we ended up going that way, I think, didn't we? Yeah. I'm getting big old Big Brother vibes from the Order of the Ascendant.
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Should just vanish in thin air then.
Another refugee?
Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations.
Another refugee. I'm on here on orders from Ruth. Yeah. Use the sickly joke. Wipe your nose. I can wait, but might make these other people sick. Skip the rigmarole. I'm here for business. I'm here on business for the presiding bishop. Yeah. Well, forgive me. Can this wait? I'm on assignment from Ruth Bassar and in a terrible hurry. Oh, yeah. We'll go with the top one, I think. Could go with either of these. That's kind of a fun one, but... on orders from Ruth.
I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger.
Really? Danger never stopped me before. Step aside, you cautious peasant. What's the exclusion zone?
I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our
Where
seer
is
predicted
it?
that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out.
People should take your predictions seriously.
Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts.
I thought the refugee encampments were supposed to be safe.
Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here.
Is there rule number 3?
Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
Weird fellow.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. Peaceful silence in the canyons.
I can't recall the last time this region was silent.
Wanted, dead or alive, Edward Dunsey, Jan Dunsey, Morton Dunsey, Jan Dunsey. Gregory Farnham, we were name.
It's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
So.
Thus,
If
if
it's
we
called
compare
a
the
weird
rates
mark.
of dust accumulation inside the settlement to outside, we gain minute insight into the grand plan.
Right.
And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something?
Yeah. You nuts. Usually perform advanced calculations in the midst of a busy settlement. Meant to ask about the situation in town, but presence here distracted me. What exactly are you doing? Performing advanced calculations in the middle of a settlement?
Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations.
So you're just mathing out here in public so passers-by can watch you? Right.
I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions.
Maybe they'll have more pressing concerns than polynomials. But the other 10.26 times at the time they're asking if they can use the space. What data do you have in support of the Order's efforts here? Maybe they have more important pressing concerns than polynomials.
They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there.
Better to have shelter than be eaten by raptidons. Check. Most people need medicine and water to be happy. Better than have shelter than be eaten by raptidons.
By quite a healthy statistical margin, yes. We nurture the body while we minister to the mind. We organize. We adapt. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction.
Wow.
But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time.
I'm ready to get back to
Then
it.
back to it I shall get.
They're all nuttier than squirrel poop around here. They're very, very strange. Order
My suit
novice.
is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
Alright.
There is an art to cooking. Alas, I am a man of science, not art.
So he's saying his food tastes like arse. Is that what he's saying? Sure sounds like it's what he's saying.
Arcadia shall ever return to how it was.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Hey, Lime, thank you for the sub. Welcome on in.
Last scrap, or I guess Raleigh Dortmunder did it, huh? I still don't get any of this. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled. The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
Oh, a sub Rosa person. No idea what either of you are talking about. Can you tell me about the situation in settlement? He says the matter's settled. The matter's settled. What on earth are you two talking about?
You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan. Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf. Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
That's a good line. So I assume up is the way we're supposed to be going, so let's not go that way.
Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
There's strife and when there's trouble. It is wants to talk, apparently.
You got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees.
That's so. What's in your mind?
The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food.
We're just doing the best of making and not making refugees earn their help. Maybe not. As the two options, I prefer dying out in the desert. Naturally, why would anti-choice do anything at the kindness of their hearts? Yeah, I'm not inclined to... I'm tempted by that one because it's a bit harsh. But, yeah, I'm tempted by all just doing their best as well. Because those are just two variations of the same thing, really, but... I don't really want to go pro order, but I feel like this is just a bit too harsh to her, who's generally nice, but a little bit too much in favour of the auntie's choice approach. So I'm going to go with the order one, but it's just a bit too harsh, I think. Do the best not making refugees earn their help.
You sure? The Order seems a whole lot more concerned with dazzling the populace with numbers than anything else. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war.
Smart to figure out the most efficient way of helping people soon enough. It's us these refugees if they prefer free food or having to work for it. You like to take the obvious, don't you? You're not going to convince me that Auntie's Choice would do a better job. They would not. No, they'd... well, they're capitalists, so they'll do exactly what capitalists do, which say, if you got any money? No? Well, fuck off then. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with you not convincing me that aunties would do a better job.
Except we have resources to spare on these folk. Does the Order?
Yeah, but you won't, because
that ain't all I'm getting at. I went through this myself when Auntie's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this?
Yeah, but you say all. What were the terms of that contract? It ended up with you nearly dead because you signed it. It's not, that's great. Definitely not great. Trying to help people who've lost everything. Why is that so hard to believe? You know Auntie's Choice was wrong to offer you that deal, right? And they're gaining human shields. Maybe they're escaping for new converts. You know Auntie's Choice was wrong to offer you that deal,
Don't
right?
see how it's wrong if it benefited the both of us. Anyhow,
It didn't.
if the Order is in fact helping these folk
Oh,
with
dear,
no
no.
hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you
enough.
hearing me out.
Yeah. Interesting outfit. That's the they had her over a barrel and said, "We'll help you out if you sign this extremely exploitative contract. You're slightly better off than you were. But we're still going to fuck you over for years to come." Subvinagula Tilda Raidmancher. Okay. That's a cool
What can
look.
I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention.
Father and Mudge sent me. Tell me about this quasi-illicit shenanigan of yours. What in the void are you talking about? I'll tell you my big complaint about a neighbour, but they're standing pretty close. Tell me the nature of your services here. I'm talking about what in the void are you talking about? Tell me about this quasi-illicit shenanigan of yours.
Oh, a semi-informed customer. Well, we offer a wide array of proxy altercations, from restrained bludgeoning to flat-out scraps. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy.
So they fight using stand-ins.
Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah, this guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly?
I was going to ask about the camp. You answered that question. Just been shopping for proxy altercations today. Sorry. I was going to ask about the situation in the camp. You answered my question.
Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a cicanid to feed. Don't make me call Mapother and Mudge over. They don't like no fighting for free. Go on, get out of here. Scram.
I met those two on the way in. I should probably have said something about that first, but apparently whatever. I'm guessing they wanted me to become a proxy fighter, but I don't think I'm down for that. You shoot on sight, do you now?
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Oh,
my noggin sure is sore.
I thought she might be able to sell me something worth having, but apparently not.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side.
We're not going
I
anywhere.
predict that the worst is
Not on the
behind us.
basis of some half-baked prediction. This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom.
Unspecified dangers predicted.
Try not to deviate from the norm.
Oh, he's got a rotary saw and an axe form. That's interesting. Voice of the displaced.
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me.
Prosperous scrapper is close enough. Further thinking of myself as a free agent. No commitments, no complications. Earth Directorate. Not gonna. Yeah, I still feel like just telling everybody who I am is still deeply unwise because I don't think either Auntie's Choice or the Protectorate are going to be particularly keen to have me here. Think of myself as a free agent.
Cheers to that, friend. When war looms its ugly head, adaptation is key. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import.
Helpful troublemaker is a noble calling. Don't care much for the Order. Where do these people come from? A bit different from most Auntie's Choices, man. Where do these people come from?
Some are former Auntie's Choice like me. Some were abandoned by the Protectorate. All of us have been displaced by conflict somehow, directly or otherwise. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me.
What's that about the exclusion zone?
The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them.
Must have been especially foreboding. Has your safety in mind. Maybe you should respect the rules of the people looking after you. You're right, makes no sense. Must have been especially foreboding prediction.
Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific.
No,
I
not
honestly
really.
don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but maybe you'll have better luck.
Try what makes you think they would listen to me. Being former choice, anti-choice, I understand if I ask about a reward. What makes you think they'll listen to me?
Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options.
Oh. Cheers, looking over it. We'll see what
Thanks,
happens.
stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building. Probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
Okay.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve in time.
Every
Stop me with the
scientician
predictions.
yearns
You
to
don't
visit
even
the
know
archive on
multivariable
Crystal.
calculus.
One day, it will process all of our equations.
Vicar Eddie or Andy?
Apologies, outsider. As a vicar,
Edie,
I
maybe?
am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere.
Well, if I promise not to take up much of your time.
Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment.
What's the situation at the moment?
Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common
Like her
lay people
outfit.
are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I,
Lovely.
more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail.
Right. You haven't actually told me anything about the situation here.
Oh dear, I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle.
Right. I think we have a different idea of what constitutes practical
Perhaps
advice.
some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. Whew, but I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten themselves.
Okay. They are all nuts around here. Administrator Agua, we need to find that person. Provisioner Plotnik. I think somebody suggested to talk to them too. Hollis Beardsley. Beards.
By the law. It's you.
Yeah, I recognise him. Can't remember why, but I do. Alright, let's talk to the provisioner first.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced.
Activist Widmark suggests I speak to you about work. Or your work. Seems pretty busy. What do you do here? What do you do here?
I have zero allotted time for random queries, at present or in the foreseeable future. But very well. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine.
So to say, but the displaced may not have noticed either.
With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me.
It's a start, I suppose. A bit more stress than you let on, but you seem happy about it.
The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources.
Positive.
Appreciate you respecting my time.
I
My
don't,
time
but anyway.
is yours.
What have we got for sale?
You may peruse to your heart's
Oh. Patient step. Precog. Iron TTD. Movement no longer drains energy. Oh, that's cool. Energy also drains slower, increasing to 30% slower with the science skill. That's fun. 3% of energy. You have damage converted to energy. Plasmacaster armor. Dragoon armor. Scala cuirass. It's converted for a plasma pistol. Huh? Okay. Leaded jumpsuit. Leaded marksman suit. I think I'm. Oh, plasma pistol. That's quite cool. The fiery pistol. Plasma cutter. Yeah, I don't seem to have much of excitement there, but still. What's that? Go.
Yes. Farewell.
Not immediately talking to these people about the quest seems to shut me out of quests, assuming that that's what's going on there. Which I don't like as a mechanic, to be honest. Or maybe I'm not missing that. Maybe it's just yeah, that's it. Wasn't feature company excluded. Talk to this guy. Oh, lady, in fact.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you?
Yarp. Sorry, Rob. Matey Huffstutler. How did you know she sent me? How did you know she sent me?
Mathematical predictions always keep us one step ahead. My latest augury noted that a stranger would come bearing an inconvenient message. This is about the exclusion zone, correct?
Talk to me like I'm not from around here.
Fair enough. The exclusion zone is a mere corner of Matriarch's mercy, and rightfully off limits. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril.
You won, right? You can't save every following terror ray. Use ways to accept responsibility for actions. Honestly, how dangerous is it? How is the exclusion zone dangerous?
We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold.
How about I go in there and shoot whatever is the problem? If you believe both sides will listen, then I'm in. Haven't heard anything about compensation. We've got to begin. If you think both sides will listen, I'm in.
I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. It must work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started?
Tell me about the voice of the displaced.
I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that.
Said I was foretold. How does that work?
Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here.
Spoke to a few people with valid concerns about conditions in camp.
These are the data points we need. Keep at it then. Precision is ever our ideal. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them. Form your own opinion. And when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
You literally just said... That's weird. That anybody going in there will die. So if I walk in there and don't die, then problem solved. Something. This is a very weird post office. Those tubes... Let's just say there ain't enough wall for them to go anywhere. Go in, Xavier, right? Plasma grenade, they look very nice. Air-cooled machine gun frost converter. Heavy marksman rifle telescopic sight. Bunch of interesting stuff, but not what I really need right now. You mean? Horace Beardsley.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help.
Shush, trade now, talk later. I have a question first. What do you think of conditions at the camp?
As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out.
Get everyone sick at once, let nature take its course. Well, that's a very Boris Johnson line. Anything I can do to help?
Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
Does we need help with something else?
You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation.
Yes.
Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future.
No, it
Recently,
doesn't.
I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me.
What do you need so badly? The Order devises an equation that calculates the unknowable. How is that even possible?
Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp.
Okay, tell me
Where
more.
to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Think you could help in
Might
this?
have time to patch up 1 or 2 patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The seer gave me a data pad with explicit instructions that I not read it. For my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the data pad, with my thanks.
Well, I had another thing.
How can I be of service?
No, that's everything. Just heading for a bath when the stream started. Fair enough. Yeah, I can't remember what I said now, Steve. Helpful. In general, did a bunch of videos in the last few days covering all manner of stuff. The update, what's actually in the anniversary edition in terms of creations, and I did a video on the new trailer for season 2 of the show earlier as well. That went up last night too. That was fun. So there's all that. Also, my plan regarding streaming Fallout 4, I'm thinking of doing a more modded playthrough. So not a super insanely heavily modded one, but one that's, you know, Fallout 4 plus, vanilla plus, basically, with some extra bits and pieces and stuff, you know. So it still looks and feels like Fallout, but it's freshened a bit because we've all done the base thing before, you know. But that means I need to spend some time working on mods, so probably Sunday if this weekend, but almost certainly not tomorrow, as I need to spend tomorrow actually figuring out the mod situation. So yeah, that's the gist of where I'm at. Call lift. We'll not do that right now. Looks busted. But no. It's the Landon Wiley. So relaxing a 20-minute nap. A number of times I fall asleep in the bath. Well, did. I haven't actually been showering over bathing lately, but used to happen a lot.
Yeah.
Amuses my other half no end because she is rather tiny, and the idea of falling asleep in the bath terrifies her because she'd just be straight under the water. It's a really cool little bit of the Outer Worlds refrain going around in the background there. It's quite cool.
I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order
I like his look, actually. He's a good
prognostics report.
Character design, face design.
Mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct?
Possibly, yeah. Low monstering at next gen on level. Yeah, we'll see how far we go. Obviously, I'm doing this on PC, so what I will probably do is make sure any building mods I use, at the very least, are still available across the board on consoles as well as on PC, at least as much as humanly possible. And then probably go a bit more PC specific with stuff on the gameplay side. But I still want it to look like Fallout 4, so, you know, more or less. How does the Order predict the future, then?
Utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths.
So you tell everyone in the Order what to do?
More what to watch out for. Advisement on adhering to the plan. Forecasts of probabilistic dangers. elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense.
Master Hobble? Well, I'll concede I'm not much of a... depends on the nature of the race, really, Steve. My back's doing alright, actually. My knee was a bit dicky earlier. And was that yesterday? Yes, I think that was yesterday, actually. It's fine today. But, you know, as long as it's a short race, you know, 100 meters or something, I'll be fine. If you want me to run a marathon, I'm probably going to die. But, yeah, you know, it depends on the race in question. But as regards my back and stuff, well, I decided the current status quo wasn't acceptable, so I changed it. So I guess I modded it. Not quite literally, but... yeah. I mean, arguably my eyesight is modded. I'd like to get it permanently modded, though. That's rather expensive. Do unforeseen factors get in the way of your predictions? Yeah, because unforeseen means your prediction dies on its fucking ass, because if you didn't foresee it, it's unpredicted and therefore is not a prediction. How do weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions differ? Go on, then.
The former are generalized forecasts for groups or settlements. The latter are more specialized to individuals and take far more time to calculate. Usually some are handled by one of the more senior seers in a region. But with Seer Wiley's days taken up advising the abbots and other things, this responsibility falls to me. Regrettably, I have built up a bit of a sizable backlog.
Can you tell me about the situation in the settlement?
Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why
I'll give you the second part, but they don't do their best.
To our refugee neighbors in the area.
They are trying, and they're doing more, and they're not charging for the privilege, so yeah, they've got the right idea, but they're a little bit obsessed with their predictions and not obsessed enough with actually helping people in a practical sense, in my eye. So look, substantial ways.
There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access
but what you're doing doesn't do that.
Prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly.
One person. If none of the others, none of the other refugees come by, posting a pitch in elsewhere.
I believe my services will be increasingly sought after the more of the displaced learn of our methods. Vicar Orendi, for instance, is assiduously occupied with such efforts.
She's standing outside talking shit to people with bigger problems.
Has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well.
I think that answers everything.
I foresee you have much to do. I won't keep you. Adieu.
Please continue to enjoy the background music which I have selected.
They're all a bit daft, aren't they?
My time is yours. Farewell.
My whole time is mine, then answer my questions. Pull a gun out. Answer my questions, or I shoot you.
Since the schism, the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude our teachings.
Aha! Bounty terminal. Local bounties. Where's a bit transfer? which I don't have a perk for. Wanted Jan Dunsany? I don't know. Jan. For crimes of repeated and indiscriminate slaughter of Order personnel, unlike her brothers, Jan Dunsany? Jan appears to bear some vestige of duty to a prior life in the Protectorate. Unfortunately, this is manifested in a hatred for the Order. She seems to believe that the Protectorate has treated us too gently and we must all be executed as traitors. She's already made good on her belief in the dozens. Resides in Scrapper's Den with her gormless fellows. Morton and Edward. Theft, malfeasance, and general wreaking of havoc. I like the general wreaking of havoc accusation. Belonged to many Protectorate subjects abandoned by local leaders. Rather than turn to us for aid, Geo partook in petty banditry. Acquired many fellow ne'er-do-wells have become a problem too troublesome to ignore. Reside within abandoned Guardian estates in the southwest region of Golden Ridge. Note that due to catastrophic damage to our tramp infrastructure, the mountain on which estates reside must be ascended. Ah, yes. Breaching Scaffold's lines may be difficult, but to succeed shall be amply rewarded. Intriguing. Large pile of seemingly unrelated debris. What this once isn't apparent. What this once was isn't readily apparent at first glance. Why is that so bloody hard to read? Improvised structure of some kind. Pile of okay.
Shame what happened there. I seen the whole thing.
That's interesting.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be.
Used to be more than debris.
Yes, technically a
Once
hut
upon
is
a
meant to be
time,
only
it was
one
to eat
story.
down too.
Because when you stack them, they tend to fall over. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, so they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down.
A bunch of displays have been hurt doing this?
Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes.
Worries you, as means you may be right. Alright.
Statements with their unsatisfying antecedents. At the order of the Ascendant, our predictions are both sufficient and necessary for your positive.
I think I just jumped into a piece of barbed wire and ended up hurting myself. Certainly more luck than Jesse Pinkman had. I have a hunch that that's going to be relevant later.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger. Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cop. Hope these folk don't have to wait as long.
With soup, as with life,
Do have good outfits.
the ratio of flavor to spoonful is a delicate balance.
Algorithm. If we factor for random algorithmic dissonance, don't even like the sound of it. How could something be incalculable?
Right.
How do you do, stranger? Always nice to see a friendly face around Matriarch's Mercy. Though it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist.
Do you know much about suturing wounds or reattaching limbs?
More than whoever butchered your friend. Do you need any touch-ups on that appendage?
Not unless you think a pair of glass eyes and glued-on antlers will help. Sorry.
But something tells me you didn't come to talk shop.
Find.
What's this about, Agent? Am I in trouble?
Who said anything about an agent? I didn't. Seeking medical specialist help Doc Hollis Beardsley.
What? And you think that's me? Listen, friend. A little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional.
What are you thinking? As what it takes. Surgery, taxidermy, same shit. Don't have the luxury of high standards. You'll do fine. Most of your patients will be on the brink of death anyway. As long as you're not screaming shit at the sight of blood, I can care less. What are you thinking, Az?
Look, this place ain't exactly crawling with experts, and Doc needs all the help he can get. Even if all you do is suture wounds, your services will be invaluable.
Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve.
Right. Any leads on clean sprat
I
corpses?
used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea if she's still in business. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself.
So I've got to cross off the bloody map to get this guy some rats that haven't been shot. In order to persuade him to suture up some people who may die in the meantime if not. Yeah, great. How about you get to work and I might come back with them if you don't annoy me too much. But once I've got my hands on them.
Fresh being the operative word. My thanks, stranger.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Sometimes the video gaminess of it all is a little bit daft.
The order defecting? There's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Keep your behavior within acceptable parameters. Keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
It just makes me want to smack him with something heavy, to be honest. Horse lamping.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and
Ex-aunties,
my guts
apparently.
are gurgling. I could burst
lovely.
at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance.
Doc Beardsley asked me to bring you some meds.
Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then.
No, you can pretend to feel fake symptoms. What? Is it worth to you? How much do you want this? Because I might need it more. What's it worth to you? Seeing as if his symptoms are fake.
Well, ain't this healthcare in a nutshell? If it's bits you want, you can partake of what I scrounged together on account of folks taking pity on me. You have my gratitude, stranger.
What do you make of the situation
I
around
think
camp?
it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
Yep, I don't feel bad about extorting a guy who's pretending to be sick. Who's actually sick, that would be different.
We all had reasons to leave.
Really? What was yours?
Honestly, I don't think it matters anymore. All that matters is we're alive.
It's for sale?
My noggin sure is sore. Oh my. Ow.
Yeah, it's when elements of the story just feel a little too video gamey that it's like, okay, I'm fine with it, but it's just like, it does break the immersion a little.
You got business? No? Move on.
It's a cool mask. Helped an agent of yours in Fairfield. She promised to find friends in Sub Rosa. Funny, I had a few spare bits to make it my business. Oh wait, I do. Intimidator. I have the required book. I've used goons like you as toothpicks. Send them away, I'll snap you in half. All business is the business of the Earth Directorate. Stand aside in the name of freedom! Now I'll go with I met an agent of yours.
You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in.
Like you told Guess Up, actually. It's cool. Oh.
Hello, hello. You're the one
It
that
is
aided
cool.
us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband.
Your words are so good. Why are you operating out of a refugee camp? Where does Sub Rosa stand on the wall? Where people like you are, there's work to be done close by, am I right? Try that one.
Savvier than you look. Might be that I've got an agent over by the Guardian Estates that I haven't heard from in a spell. If you perhaps find yourself over that way, and perhaps make sure that the aforementioned agent hasn't been torn limb from limb, Sub Rosa would be most grateful.
I'll keep an eye out. Where do you stand on the wall?
We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Auntie's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry.
You just have to start pivoting to other areas of business, won't you? AC gets you immersed in the world and the people, just not the story and gameplay. Yeah, you kind of want to be a healthy dollop of both, really, though, don't you, Steve? It's the ideal. Anyway. Why are you operating out of a refugee camp?
Superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide. And Sub Rosa delivers. At only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling!
Can't make money without risk or two. Got some guts. Just a war profit here. Don't try and pretend otherwise. I mean, yeah, there is that. I think poking the hornet is probably, well, hornet's nest rather, is probably not a good idea right now.
Agreed. You'd do well in Sub Rosa with that philosophy. Supposing you didn't get killed anyhow.
Why is she saying didn't get killed in a past tense? It sounds like I'm walking around like some kind of a zombie here. I'm pretty sure I've not got any extra holes right now. So what you got?
Feast thine eyes on the merchandise.
That sounds like quite an offer. Acquiescence, medium armor, adaptive engineering, so damage may change defense mode, light damage, less than 10% health enables damage resistance. Heavy damage enables evasion chance. Interesting. That's kind of fun. That's decryption keys. Yes. Oh, get off. Fidgeting. I'm getting stuck on stuff. Plasma beam caster. That's a heavy weapon, I assume. Sniper rifle. Comes into a type. Sniper rifle. Retailored gear. Maybe the casual jacket will conceal the explosive tubes, vents, and random armor pieces adhered to the suit. Bounty gains decreased by 50%. Upcycled headgear, toxicity during rain rate. Still not as good as what I've got. Got some good stuff, but nothing I actually want there, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, it might be better. It is better, actually, yeah. Doesn't look as good. One unfortunate factor. I assume it doesn't, anyway. Best defense is a good explosive offense. Warning, drip dry only, do not tumble dry. Unless it blow up, I guess. What's the price on it? 5 grand. I do not have enough. Okay. I might be back for that. Nice to meet you.
Go on, get out of here. Scram.
If that accent was going to get a bit stronger for a minute then. I realise he's supposed to sound like a fella who's been beaten up, that guy, and he does. He also sounds like a guy who's got serious indigestion.
Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
It's literally just this area that they're arguing over, because... Well, I mean, the space is nice, but it ain't that big, is it? If there's anybody else to talk to. Somebody up there, okay. Oh, there's a ladder here, I see.
Oh, a visitor. Without notice. Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good.
Obviously, Vicarage mentioned you had a good experience with the order predictions. Oh, that's alright, just maybe not to you. So it wouldn't show up on a pop. And obviously, Vicarage reckoned you had a good experience with predictions.
I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on.
Could just be a coincidence, couldn't it?
Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times, something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done, had told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water.
So you'd say they'd helped you? How accurate would you say they are? Forecasts seem impractically vague to me, I guess. Well, to be fair, avoid liquids for 48 hours is pretty fucking specific, to be honest. And he didn't, and he drowned in a puddle because he got drunk. So you'd say they helped you?
You did catch the part I said they saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking.
Gotta agree with that.
Why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
Shakespeare invented the word hobnob. Meaning been changed a bit, probably, I would think. If Shakespeare came up with it, I assume it was Not what you'd call safe for work.
Oh, Administrant Agrawal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Okay. Ready to begin if you are.
Speaking as a representative of the Order, we will abide by the Mediator's decision if you do the same.
Agreed.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands.
Let's talk about the displaced in their perspective.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
You heard about this business with the Sub-Rosa altercations?
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub-Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd, and I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help.
Overcrowding leads to frustration, minor issues get amplified. The order should work to prevent this kind of thing. Overcrowding leads to frustration.
Unproductive is one thing. Paid Donnybrooks with surrogate fighters is... well, I'm at a loss for an applicative metaphor to describe it.
Bonkers would do for a good word. Speak to the camp doctor about the health situation here.
I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't help
Someone
being
should get
born
right
with small
on that, huh?
hands.
Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
He has the meds, but he can't cure overcrowding. Needs more resources, not more space. We have people living on top of each other, which is a public health disaster. Well, he did say that, yeah. He also said he needs that, yeah. That's the meds, but he can't cure overcrowding. Yeah, let's go with that one. He said that one.
We have ample room to space people out more, but only if we utilize the exclusion zone.
That is indeed unfortunate.
It's oddly
But the
polite of
dangers
Shakespeare.
predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns.
And I found evidence of a collapsed structure.
Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure, more of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty.
Shouldn't have to build in these conditions. These huts come crashing down. Yeah.
People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established Order construction guidelines.
Well, if there were more, it might have been different. More resources available. Yeah, interesting that you should randomly mention hobnobs. I bought a packet of hobnobs yesterday. I thought, you know, I'll have a couple of those, dunk them in a cup of tea. I looked down after a minute or so, at least I thought it was a minute or so, and this entire packet of hobnobs was about 4 biscuits left in it. I was like, right, let's put that aside. So I twisted it all off, tied it off, set it aside. Then I looked back down, and somehow it now had 2 biscuits in it, and it had moved across to the other side of my desk. I can't account for that. So anyway, at that point, I thought I might as well just finish the packet. What did we find on the Order side?
Speak on them.
Ronley Nast taught me a bit about the Order's predictions and their usefulness.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
He did. He seemed convinced they should be followed. Said they weren't always accurate, was too scared to ignore them. Seems like the Order wasted a lot of time and energy on them. He did seem convinced.
Quite right. Rollo's co-occupant might have also supported our warnings, had he heeded them.
I don't know. You ask me? When it comes to these Order predictions, there's a lot of room between a probable and definite outcome.
Yeah. I spoke to Vicar Orendi about her support from the displaced.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
Mm-hmm. Out of touch with people's actual needs, but then so is the Order. Valley's education methods questionable. She means well, but complex mathematics can be useful even to the displaced, I think. No. She's out of touch with the people's needs. And so is the Order. Valley's education, but I find methods questionable. that is also true. I think this has got to be more realistic, though.
A bit rude, don't you think? But since this mediation was foretold, I will not dispute your findings.
Provisioner Plotnik informed me about the Order's efforts.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day.
Not really, no.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
Seems committed to ensuring the displaced was want for nothing. Highly valued, credit to the Order. Keeps Matriarch's mercy supplied except for critical space and building supplies.
If the Provisioner is booked up, I say redeploy another egghead at the matter.
It's less of an issue of personnel as it is of safety. Contrary to your assumptions, we do care about your collective and individual well-being. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands.
Well, that's the only rational position to take, is to have your sympathies lying with the displaced. On the other hand, it doesn't necessarily mean you survive. You say what you side with them. So it boils down to two things, really. The displaced need space. They haven't got enough. They are building in unsafe ways upwards and getting hurt because they can't build anywhere else. Medically, they're crammed in too tight and disease is spreading too fast. They haven't got the building supplies they need. And there was something else as well, but it all amounts to the same thing. They need more space. The flip side is, if this is the only space, and there is a danger here, then that danger should be addressed first. Just saying, let's ignore the danger is fucking stupid. The danger, on the other hand, is based entirely on a prediction, and a not particularly reliable one. That being said, there is some occasions wherein the predictions do seem to come reasonably true, so completely disregarding them out of hand, as much as I think it's mostly bollocks, is unwise. So the solution is look for a way to remove the need to have the exclusion zone, which is fairly obvious as a solution, really. As in, get in there, investigate what the fuck's going on, and make sure this supposed disaster can't happen. Silverblade, thank you for the sub. Welcome on in. Needs that way the danger. Roof the Order. Predict disaster. They predict disaster and won't risk lives. No business making life or death decisions on anyone's behalf. I roll for no one. Look for the record. All of this is ridiculous. Neither of these really, like, if I go for either of these, they're absolutes and in one direction or the other, and that's the wrong way to go. The right way to go is investigate the problem and solve it, investigate the danger and solve it, and then you can have the best of both worlds. No need to be concerned about disaster, and you can have the space. But that isn't an option here. Unless maybe this is going to get me there, because no business is not going to get me there.
Finally understand what we're dealing with, huh? For every problem, there's an obtuse, indirect solution.
Regardless of your misgivings, I ask that you follow your reason.
I can't because I haven't got the option. This was the same thing that happened with Avowed, and it made me want to punch people there, and it makes me want to do it again here, because they have needlessly, deliberately excluded the only rational answer from the list of available answers. And it's not like it's complicated, it's fucking basic shit, and they're leaving it out on purpose to force you to arbitrarily make a shit decision. That is not good writing, and it's not good game design either. It's crap. It's the second time they've done it this year, Obsidian. It's bloody annoying. Oh, well, we can't have unlimited number of options. Okay, no you can't. But you can include the one rational answer to a problem when there is one obvious rational answer. Choosing not to do it is just fucking idiocy. I'm tempted to go I rule for no one, just to spite them for not giving me an acceptable answer. I'll have to rule for the Order because I can't take the risk, but...
Shit. Very well.
Fuck you, cunts.
You win.
I hate that.
I'll honor the terms of the mediation. Let's hope your math was right.
Have faith. Or, if
of course.
not faith, reason. We can still work together to improve conditions around Matriarch's mercy.
That's true.
Your reward, mediator, with my thanks. I now consider the matter decisively closed.
Got some armor for trouble. Yeah, that's really fucking irritating to me, those. Supportive Scholar Cuirass. Or Cuirass, depending on how you want to pronounce it. 20% damage resistance from below half health. And that's not bad. But it doesn't have the extra set of options. The mines. Mine is technically better, I think. I have neither explosive skill nor hack skill, so... They're both basically the same, just different... No, they're not, actually, are they? Yeah, they are the same. Okay. So yeah, that is actually slightly more useful to me, I think. I don't like the colours on it, but it is slightly better. I can only assume this piece of cliff would come tumbling down and crush everybody if I went the other way, which I feel like they would make something like that happen.
You take this prediction business pretty seriously, don't you?
No, not really.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation...
I assume there are more elsewhere. Doctors inside borders. I see. So this is the upper area. Somewhere out here was... I don't know. This looks like it's all mountainous. Maybe down here was somewhere where the camp was? Okay. So I don't know what any of that is. So, let's push on with the main story and then we'll see about moving out. Oh, something weird is occurring here.
That's one way to become the center of attention.
Right. So weirdness was occurring there. Intercessor.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Thanks. See you, London, Wiley, and Abbott Yusuf Newell.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
No time for that. We said we could help one another out. Oh, no, thank you. I couldn't possibly indulge in this mischief afoot. I'm going to start using smaller words, or I'll start using bullets. Let's pick this up later. Oh no, I could possibly indulge when there's mischief afoot.
Sensible. Straight to business then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach?
You speak to Victor Clemens, supposedly a member of your order. In a word, revenge. I'm hunting a woman who nearly killed me. What was that about compartmentalization? Maybe we should have this conversation in private. That sounds suspiciously like flirting with him, which I'm not going to go for. What was that about compartmentalization?
Since losing access to the archive, the Order has been forced to limit its open exchange of ideas and information to avoid contaminating what few predictions we can still make.
Right. In other words, you're trying to avoid self-fulfilling prophecies.
We don't use that word, prophecy.
It's cool.
Our predictions are strictly a matter of mathematical calculation.
Pretty cool outfit.
But in layman's terms, that is the objective. Yes.
The archive is a vast network of computational machines built beneath the ice of Cloister. Prior to the invasion, the Order used it to generate predictions on a vast scale. But listen to me prattling on. I'm sure you aren't here for a history lesson.
I'm looking for Victor Clemens.
Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Depends whether or not he tells me exactly what I want to know or not, doesn't it? Proof Victor's conspiring with a group of dangerous zealots with ties to the Order. Not sure. He seems likely involved in a plot to destroy Arcadia.
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse.
It's possibly been manipulated into believing his actions serve the plan. He might not have a stomach for violence, but his co-conspirators most certainly do. A friend of the traitor I'm after said she and Victor had secret contacts within the Order. You would be a very good conspirator if you went around shouting about it. Friend of the traitor I'm after said she and Victor had secret contacts within the Order. Seems we've got the opportunity to progress based on knowledge gained.
And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the N-Ray range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
Can you be more specific about the threats I'll be facing?
Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Those are the same cultists that worship the rifts.
Indeed. They began showing up with their inane theories prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate. Always starts small, doesn't it? Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your
I recognize his voice as well.
Conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation.
Glad we're on the same page. How can I return the favour and help you? No offence, but why should I help you? Not to stop busting kneecaps, don't need your permission, but okay. How can I help you?
No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Reasonable.
Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate?
Respectfully, go avoid yourself. Current tensions, that we're getting along well. I'm an agent with the Earth Directorate. What more do you need to know? Yeah, I thought we were getting along so well.
Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace.
So the leads are looking to this, just checking. You're sure the Order didn't intentionally attack Auntie's choice? It's supposed to be helping me, why am I the one doing all the work? You sure the Order didn't intentionally attack Auntie's choice?
Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with.
You're supposed to be helping me. Why am I doing all the work?
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
He's got us there, Commander.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough.
I'll look into it.
I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings.
More questions?
Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
Why is Wiley referred to as a seer?
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis.
Fancy way of saying you can predict the future.
Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine.
I too value a good lackey. Having someone who can predict the future certainly seems handy with a war on. Friends, colleagues, you seem excessively dependent on him. Having somebody who can predict the future seems handy with a war on. He didn't seem to predict this attack, though, did he?
Indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal of pressure on me to navigate what is a rather novel situation. Without Wiley, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Many lives depend on him, on us both. Why, Matriarch's mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development.
Right. It's not saying much. Matriarch's mercy is a disaster.
If you consider the alternative, its absence would be far more catastrophic for these poor refugees. Really, the Order is being quite charitable.
I don't disagree. You could still do more. What's the story of the giant statue outside?
That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varick, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-Order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Oh, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit.
Right.
The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Thanks for filling me in. Be on my way. So, the Alexandra Observatory. The statue was somewhere up here, wasn't it? I assume. Oh, there it is. Yeah, because that's the. Obviously, the access will be. That way, presumably. I'm guessing that's the access to it, but it's currently open.
We need to help the folk at Opportunity, Commander. Void the Abbot. He's more concerned with exonerating his own than with making things right.
Neighbors, while you shelter in Matriarch's
Yeah.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Talk about close quarters.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. The invaders, order defecting. There's no putting this
That's an alarming noise.
rat back into the can.
Oyster is looking pretty good.
So, I think. Let's take the message to Outpost Opportunity, which would be go in the same direction anyway. We need to go there. I feel like that's probably a good thing to do first. Yeah, I think that's probably the play. Either way, we'll make our way down the path and then this way and then swing off to the left, I think. That was cool.
Take our short 38-minute questionnaire to determine exactly what are meant for. Act now and receive a 1-week prognostication from a seer. Absolutely free. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
1 week prognostication, huh? Trouble awaits, I wonder. If cutting the corner is a wise move, but I'm going to do it anyway. Allegedly, Port Endurance is presumably where we're heading.
How are you still upright over there?
I'm too sure already.
Rescue! Sight unseen. Happy to help. Discreetly.
I feel like she's not doing a very good job of dropping heals, to be honest. Still. On we go. Yep, we're on the right track.
Val says you turned her down for a massage.
Turns out Val's massage protocol doesn't have a setting between a light touch and a 50-kilometer-per-hour punch. Not exactly therapeutic. Felt a little bad telling that to her face, though.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of one of those massages, too. Honestly, you made the right choice.
Order coercer, huh? Seem like they,
Perhaps it would be advantageous to... No, that won't function optimally. Well, we could
seem like the way to go.
No, but if they deploy Manosaurs, we'd be better served having it the other way around. Do you have a specific matter requiring discussion with me that cannot be postponed? I'm rather preoccupied at the moment.
Oh, well, I'm preoccupied with arguing with yourself about the best way to dig a hole. He is a dwarf, and he's digging a hole. A diggy hole. Well, he's not a dwarf, but anyway, that's not the point. You would, yeah?
That's not... Yes, your assessment is absolutely accurate. Making a final decision over what to prioritize in the construction of this trench, given my current resources, has been a substantially more difficult task than I first estimated.
Reminds me of a cartoon character, but I'm not sure who that. I thought the Order solved this kind of problem with mathematics.
Correct. In this case, standardized algorithms, which includes a Poisson distribution method, using the data we accrued from years of tracking the frequency of different attacks. Unfortunately, I find myself in the extremely unlikely and distressing position of having these algorithms inform me that every type of attack is exactly equally probable. And thus, my dilemma.
That is a dilemma. What kind of threats will you be facing?
Many, unfortunately. Anti's human soldiery, raptidons, mantisaurs, scrappers, and even wild arachnids. In summary, many and varied.
Can you make the trench equally good at defending against everything?
Alas, I lack the resources and time. I appreciate your input, though.
Why do you need more trenches?
Anti's forces have pushed us from our initial trench line into our fallback trench, thus making it the new primary trench. Despite the fact that we are currently holding back Anti's forces at the new, more narrow front, this leaves us in the unenviable position of requiring a new fallback trench. That being said, we shouldn't need another trench line.
What do you mean shouldn't need?
Our analysis shows us that Antis simply lacks the resources to push through the current front line. However, there is a vanishingly slim chance that Antis has more resources in transit outside of the Arcadian system that we simply haven't accounted for yet.
I kind of wonder if there might be something they needed doing around here, but doesn't look like they do. There's another building over there I want to go and have a shifty out there.
You have a very non-scholarly look about you.
You dressed like a girl. I don't know. It felt like an insult, and I felt like I had to come up with something quick. I may have failed. So I need to scale that at some point as well to go and assassinate a homicidal maniac, I think. I assume this is supposed to be the front line trench?
I've observed you in these trenches before. You are aware this is a war zone, correct?
Yep. I cannot stress just how much I did not ask you. Ooh, there's a rift over there. Hmm. Hard on the eyes, isn't it? I'm honestly surprised I'm actually being allowed to put myself to any of this right now.
If you're here to help, then you should be aware that we've all been placed on standby after that last attack.
Hmm. I'm curious as to why Inez is so well informed as to exactly where Auntie's Choice's positions on a planet she was not on are. She did seem to know exactly where the base was that was getting bombed.
Move on, freelancer. I've been tasked with only treating enlisted personnel.
I see. What part of your death wish would you like to carry out first? Inez has something to say, it would seem. Right. That's the way back down there. We'll continue on down the road, I think. There's another building out here somewhere, apparently. I don't see what, though. I mean, I could kind of loop that way and then come back, but...
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere. Or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are.
The truth matter, we're bringing up the dead. Chicken's better than expected, don't know. I think the abbot's just trying to cover his ass. Frankly, I'm tired of being ordered around by everyone we meet. Chicken's better than expected.
I prefer doing my shooting after asking all the pertinent questions, Commander. While we're at it
Let's
playing
hear it.
detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for.
It's straight there, speaking from experience. Troopers as good as you claim they'll handle themselves. Priority is DeVries. Speaking from experience.
One's endured a week-long bombardment in a foxhole with only enough rations to last 3 days. Screams went on twice that long. Some of us still ain't fully recovered. We should move on, unless you got something for me?
Yeah. Some kind of camp here.
Halt! What is your destination? Leaving with that heading will bring you in direct contact with the forces of Auntie's Choice.
Sergeant Mitre. There was a named fellow around.
I do not believe you have clearance to be here.
I believe I've clearance to be wherever I want. Buddy boy.
You're gonna have to hold it in, friend. Privy's out of order. Never fear. I'll get that clog moving soon enough. They don't call me the pipe doctor for nothing.
Lovely. They need extra medical help in Matrix Mercy, and Pipe Doctor is probably close enough. Can't believe I'm standing here in presence of the Pipe Doctor himself. Is that what they call plumbers in Dorado? Interesting. They need medical help in Matrix Mercy, and Pipe Doctor probably do it.
You mean You want the pipe doctor to practice real medicine? On real people?
Well, I'm not sure this is a good idea, but
Greatest day
anyway.
of my life. The human gut is the most compact and efficient sewer system ever. A plumber's dream. My dream. But don't get me wrong, it would be an honor. I'm just not sure that I'm ready for that kind of challenge.
This guy is... This is a knife, okay.
I do thank you for your confidence, regardless.
Extremely enthusiastic about the possibility of massaging somebody's colon.
Attention, freelancer, you are currently heading into no man's land. We strongly recommend...
Who forgot to tell me this was a minefield, and why shouldn't I shoot them? Thought as much. I should shoot them. Now then, when was that building again?
Got a few courts low, Commander.
I don't wish to object much, but these mines are suspiciously inconspicuous. Oh, there they are, I see them. Bit annoyed about that. I even go so far as to say cheesed off.
Aggressors in range.
I just heard something somebody said about crapping the pants there. It sounded like it anyway. I have sprained an ankle a little bit dropping down there.
Better sit down before I fall. Don't make me bury another agent!
Commander.
I think I was about to surrender, but I don't know. So I feel like that mine did more damage to me than it should have done. Right. Any interesting things going on here? So these are trenches, those are presumably trenches. Well, that went the way I wanted it to, but... Does make the sound of this pistol much more satisfying when you're blowing up mines with it. Considerably more realistic as well. I should be more chilled about this, but I am getting vitriolically angry about the fact I'm standing on mines. They're quite annoying. I'm going to stick inside.
Your survival are directly inversely proportionate to your distance from this emplacement.
She ain't wrong, I have to concede. I'm going to stay inside the trench and progress based on that. Nox, thank you for the sub. Welcome on in. It's not the kind of noise you want to hear.
Impressive. Their personalized order prediction must have been quite favorable to inspire such confidence.
Yeah, I'll take some pictures. I wish I could just untrack this, but you have to have something tracked, which is annoying. Means I have to select something that is generalized enough or non-specific enough to not have a marker.
Approaching from the north, hold fire.
This road so far doesn't seem to have many mines on it. There's one over there though. I think we're going to keep following it. Because we got here and it didn't go very well. It's not exactly far that we went either. I'll admit, the remains of the road would be the obvious thing to put mines on, really, wouldn't it? Ooh, big bit of lag there. Oh, hello. Memory of the second-class Devon. Initiate second-class Devon. Okay. Died after single-handedly fighting off a pair of arachnids in order to keep caravan of refugees safe. May his courage and selflessness be example to all members of the Order Ascendant. 5th Infantry Platoon was the first casualty in our war against barbaric capitalists. May they held the line against an unknown threat so that others can make it to safety. So it's a memorial site. 9th Recon Unit was first to bring back detailed intelligence on mantisaurs. Undoubtedly, this information saved many lives. Unfortunately, they succumbed to their wounds shortly after returning. Memory of the 3rd Specialist Technicians Unit. Kept our anti-air weapons functioning through a combination of ingenious battlefield repairs and determination while under heavy fire. They did not survive the electrical surge from the final repair. It did allow one final critical volley of fire. May we aspire to such ingenuity in these dark times. I'm not sure how one is supposed to activate that. There's obviously a door there. I'm guessing you're supposed to have a particular set of skills and character build, and you'll be able to discover and activate things like that, but they obviously don't have that right now. Memory of those who fell defending Golden Ridge in the year 2359. Then you read the plaque now of the sacrifices made by the below members of this order of the Order of the Ascendant. Their courage, honour, and unflinching loyalty to the Order will not be forgotten. They lay down their lives, giving up the opportunity for future learning and scientific advancement to halt the restless advance of the depraved capitalistic barbarism of anti-choice forces. Tank there is in better days. It definitely does look like some kind of war zone, doesn't it?
Got my lamps on an unfriendly.
Serenium Mantiwasp.
Time to earn my commission.
Mantipilla. Manti bloody everything, isn't it? Well, that wasn't quite what I had in mind, but okay. What we got down here then? This looks like an abandoned trench. We might be able to pull some useful stuff out of.
This is Chief Quidley, recording with the intent of registering this most unusual sequence of events and securing their serial wave rights. Recently, we reckoned it'd be a hoot to hack a captured order terminal, use it to heckle them. Instead, we wound up chinwagging. And turns out we have much in common. They're bored, we're bored, and everyone got sick of trench living months ago. Next thing you know, we're getting together for brews in a wave of their knockoff sport, pitchball. And where there's booze and ball, there's betting. And while those order folk are scary data smart, they can't see the angles if they're big as a ship and bright as a hollow ad. They just see stats and percents. And don't get how spunk, moxie, and being due play into it. I thought hustling games of six caps was the easiest way to make bits. Not no
more. Interesting. So a couple of tossball sticks and a tossball blocker. So that's a one-handed, that's a two-handed, I see. I got a couple of hardware. Oh yeah, toxicity drain rate's worth having. Supervisor, count being deducted by 3 bits per minute. Messages. 2. Supervisor, test message to the order. Why don't you clever little crabble to use decommissioned machines we abandoned to messages? Can't imagine you could possibly say there'd be of interest, but nothing's lost in the corresponding. Mayhap I can show you that the universe is more to offer than your stark consumerism, disgustingly sweet breakfast cereals. Nonetheless, I find your offer of parley particularly fascinating. My unit seems to believe I have a plus or minus 74.332% chance of turning this communication into something meaningful. Let's gather at the muster station halfway between our lives under a white flag of peace and hear what you have to say. Must admit, more than a little surprised we found you. Your smiling compatriots of Ox and snacks rather than the Auntie's Choice grenades dropping on our brows. It was certainly a fabulous time. I must admit the speed at which you absorbed pitchball rules was impressive. Now I understand its resemblance to a native toss ball is significant, but you mastered the new information with startling aplomb. I sincerely hope we do it again for the finals. As long as the brass keep saying that we're locked in a cold war, we might as well enjoy our time on the tundra. The next time, I'll bring the ale. I know a guy. I don't know who let word the slip of a piece of it, as my commanders heard it, the same as yours, and it produced in ours some measured, reasonable level of understanding it produced in yours. I'm told that if I fail to murder you the next time we meet, I'm to be dragged in front of a firing squad. Right. Mayhap we should skip the finals this year and let things blow over. Shame, really, after watching the Sovereign Sluggers fail to finish at the top of the league, which I'll admit gives me the same wry, uncivilized joy it brings you. If I'm not careful, you'll soon have me cussing like a dock worker and abandoning the universal equation for the promise of a sweet-to-breakfast cereal. I'll reach out again around the league premiere next year after this foolishness has died down. Seems the soldiers were talking and the higher-ups found out and didn't like it none. Nearly there. Saving is probably wise, given where we're heading. That doesn't sound good. Rhenium Mantisaur. They attacking me or? I took a shot at the bloody Mantisaur and the dude literally just stepped right in front of me as I let the shot off and just got the back of his head blown off. Oh dear. Wasn't especially bright of him, was it?
To an entrenched position. Ready to waste them. On your command.
Fresh tingling. All charged up.
Stop that scrounging around.
Victory is mine. Was the other thing I just picked up there? Was a helmet? Looked like a helmet. Maybe not.
Did you just come through an active war zone? Your puzzler screwed on crooked?
I'm sure I like the implications of that. See, partially disassembled also dark, you might be able to salvage parts and chemicals from it. I probably won't, though. Right, I don't rightly get it. Our initial landing and attack went so well, now nothing. Stuck at a standstill, can't get no supplies, nothing from orbit, can't get no one up and over the Order's last trench. Commander's saying every time we tried, we get shot to pieces. Whose fault might that be, boy brain? Sitting here watching a whole lot of nothing happen, knowing that friends in other fronts are making bits hand over fist, has me regretting transferring to this area. I think it's time for our useless commander to have an accident. A Catandle is better than him. Interesting. Yeah, looks like it might have been the camp. So it looks like the attack might have landed somewhere over that way a bit more. Lots of Auntie's logos around.
That's a lot of casualties. Our medics ain't equipped for this. Not even close.
Skill points. As always, pointing guns and speech. Which is what I needed to persuade that other guy before, so that's good. We're up over the line on that.
My insides, they're on. What's hotter than fire? They're on lava, they're on black plasma. I just threw up all over my shirt. And the laces are melting. Why are the laces melting?
I need to talk to... Supposed to be somebody I need to talk to here. That way. Enemy scrutinization officer Durbin.
Did that blast give me a dunder? Or is some damn stranger walking into my area of operation right after we've been attacked?
You all right, officer? We saw the impact and got over here fast as we could. If there's anything we can...
We can do to part you from your bits while you're desperate? Yeah, I know your type. You go private, but then lurk in the shadows like manta wasps looking to prey on easy marks. You got any reason I oughtn't have you shot?
I could take out your entire squad. Order sent me suggestions good. Well, they didn't attack you. Careful, the order didn't do this, but then I can make sure they do the next one. I'm an Earth Directorate agent, and when I see catastrophe, we must lend aid. So state your own thought for help. Order sent me a suggestion of goodwill. They didn't attack you.
Yeah? Well, what exactly makes you so sure of that?
Since it's necessary to convince you, honestly, I'm not, but the monastery abbot asked me to come and see you, and he seemed sincere.
Well, I suppose I appreciate your honesty, but even if I believe you, so what? The damage is done, and it's not like I'm mounting a counterattack.
He wants you to contact your superiors to make sure things don't heat up or escalate. So, wasn't the order you'd have a new enemy slaughtering your people? Wasn't the order you have a new enemy? Yeah. They wanted to make sure you contact your superiors so things don't get worse.
Seriously? You expecting me to ring up Auntie and tell her, hello, Maven of all marketing? Just letting you know that this scrutinization officer says everything's hunky-dory. You've clearly been out in the Dorado sun for too long.
That's fair, but a good word won't hurt. Won't help me yet. Maybe I'll help you. You got quite the mess. Let's go with that one. I'm going to be reasonable.
Ah, an offer for transaction. Now you're talking my language. Didn't reckon you as someone sympathetic to our ways. It just so happens we might be able to trade services. Normally, I wouldn't admit this kind of weakness. It's bad practice. But I'm really in the squeeze, and you might be useful. Lately, my luck's been right miserable. I got enemy sneak attacks. I got grunts murdering each other. I got unsanctioned power struggles. And it all risks reflecting badly on me.
Badly on you. That's all you've got all that going on and you're worried about you. Yeah, exactly.
Well, who else should I be worried about? Do you have any idea how abysmal that's going to look on my next employment review? You cut down the number of issues that are vexing me and I'll send you a word of peace and harmony up the chain. What's good for me is good for you. See? Quid pro quo. Or, if all that sounds like too much work for you, there are other ways to curry my favor. Make me believe your good intentions. Encourage me to take your side.
Really? So it'll take some bits to solve the issue? I could do you a few favors. What jobs do you need to do?
That bomb that hit us, it was filled with uranium. So not only did it kill us the good old-fashioned way, it also caused serious poisoning. My contract medicalist over there is literally up to her elbows in it, her hourly rate is ridiculous, and our damn autodocs have gone on the fritz from the workload. You get her the compression coil she needs to make the autodocs work, and that should cut her billable hours in half, and then I'll send your message.
Fair enough. That's an option. What else you got?
There's been a murder at one of our forts. Troopers accused of poisoning her senior officer for some preposterous reason. Problem is, I'm already short on medical specialists. The last thing I can do is waste one for days just to find out if she did or didn't toxify him. Go find out who done it, and I'll send the message you're asking for.
That's an option. What else you got?
This is gonna make no more sense for me saying it than it's gonna make for you hearing it, but apparently, the senior officer at one of my forts is a mantisaur. A real, actual, pincer-faced, carapace-having mantisaur. Not a half-human one, or a psychic one, or a talking one, just a regular old head-munching mantisaur. Anyways, there's some dispute over who his second should be, and he can't exactly decide himself. So go sort it out for me, and I will gladly send your message.
Well, I wanted to cycle back, but apparently that's not an option. Okay, we're going to find out why there is a mantisaur in charge of a division and who their second in command should be.
You know that's an irrevocable deal, right? As in, please remember it's legally binding and I will sue you if you fail to get it done. So don't let either of us down.
People are dying, and all he cares about is what he can get out of it. Wish I could say I was surprised.
Well, what did you expect? We've got a few options. Apparently. Can bribe him. Medical outpost opportunity, murder, force endurance, and a mantisaur in charge. If we can't help the medic as well while we're here.
What in the scrupulous name of profitable deductibles do you think you're doing? Just who are you, and why are you walking through my triage?
Still explosion from the landing pad. What happened here? The officer over there asked me to help you. Love to see what you have for sale. Still explosion from the landing pad.
Some kind of rocket attack, or maybe an orbital strike. Can't rightly say for sure, but it came from above and hit us hard. Don't suppose you're looking for a way to help. I'm absolutely desperate, and I'm sure I could rustle up some suitable reward if you helped.
Absolutely. What do you need?
We need compression coils. The attack left more wounded than I have supplies for, plus a hefty amount of uranium poisoning. And the coils on our autodocs have worn out. Without them, they can't convert raw materials into the medicaments needed to help the soldiers heal.
So you need to find some.
As many as you can. There is so much more work than I can handle. It's only by getting these 3 defunct autodocs back online that I can hope to save most of these folk.
Right, we're just a look.
Auntie dropped extra compression coils in pods from orbit to help our advance, but they landed everywhere. Though I heard some are in the no man's land between the battle lines.
Yay. Mop them up and I'll be on my way.
Many thanks, but please hurry. These folk ain't got much time.
So that's where the compression coil is. Oh, joy. This is not going to go well, is it?
And I don't wish that kind of suffering on anyone, antis or no. Let's look for those coils.
This is not going to go well. Water! What? Okay. Did Raptidon in that thing? Not quite sure how it got in there and what's going on, but there's a dead Raptidon in there. That's not somebody's sewer. I don't think you want to be sitting down to take care of business and find a again Raptidon coming up and munching your butt. Sounds like a very bad day. Supposedly off to my right somewhere. Still.
Looks like a fight.
I really need that, I think. Because, yeah, they're not vulnerable to corrosive, are they? And I'll chuck that in there. Here, I think. Right. There's an orthodox compression coil. Suppose there are any others around here, are there? I've got to go and find some more on the map, haven't I? I mean, there are more. assume that's trying to warn me that that's a minefield that way.
Looking a little woozy there, Commander.
Oh, this is mildly irritating. Give me some high ground so I can try and spy out a location in more of these frickin' potential auto-dock locations, if there are any more. Not seeing any suggestions that there might be, so I might make my way back. I'm only going this way because at least this way I might not get blown up. Recently, our efforts to land supplies from orbit have all met with failure. Any typical patterns of jinking to avoid anti-air fire have ended disastrously. Initially, I thought the Order had cleverly hidden so many guns that they were taking down our ships and pods by volume of fire alone. However, after trying a saturation landing, I realised they actually have relatively few guns, but the air accuracy is astonishing. Frankly, I would have said it's impossible if I wasn't seeing it. I don't know how they're doing it, but it doesn't matter. Either we drop so much cargo that they simply can't hit it all, or we have the air staff use dangerously erratic, impossible to predict flight paths. So we're stuck between ruinously expensive at their hands or ruinously expensive at our own from frequent accidents. Please advise. Let's see, a lot of alternative options. That looks like another camp on the trenches, which run out from here. So, withstanding toxic gas, that might not be a bad way to go. Isn't it? No, nothing cool in there. So it drained so damn quickly it barely helped. No, I think we're heading back. Deep fried cysty bits. Lovely. Well, we made some success. But I get the feeling she's going to send me out again with another set of coordinates.
Please tell me you've had some luck in finding us compression. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's a start.
Yeah. There's the next set then. Don't see anything on the map. I can't get more at this point. So it's not telling me where to find more. I've just got to keep an eye out in case I do find more. Right, okay. Does rather suck a bit, but you know. Is what it is. No. White jacket, huh? Lights. Okay, not particularly exciting. Auntie's choice bunker roster. Recipe, heavy marksman rifle, tracing unit. I'll take that. It's stolen, but I definitely need the recipe, so...
Another promotion. Yes, I have earned it, haven't I?
Oh dear. Well, as far as things to dream of go, they're a funny old bunch, aren't they? Right. Now, looking at the time, I think I'm going to make my way back to the remains of this camp. And we'll pause it here and head on out and look for these folks next time. I think I'll do that. Nice. So. Oh, that was alright. Made a bit of progress today. It felt like some anyway. So that was cool. Interesting new area. Now moving into the second zone. For all that we're talking about improving over the way the last game was designed, the areas are bigger. I don't know that it feels vastly different to wandering around the Outer Worlds 1, though. It feels a lot like the last game did, wandering around it. Keep pushing on, see what happens. Yeah. It's definitely got strong vibes of the first one. Their zone design, it was a bit better in Avowed, I think. I enjoyed exploring those maps a bit more. But this one's something about the Outer Worlds maps are not quite as engaging to explore. I feel like you need something. Not quite there. But we'll see what else is coming up. So, it is Friday night, isn't it? Weekends. I'll look into doing a new build video next week, because we've had a lot going on this week as it is. A little downtime is not such a bad thing. Need to stream some 76. Well, I need to play some 76. I don't need to stream it. I need to play some 76 and take advantage of this week's challenges and stuff, which I haven't done. At least the weeklies and a set of dailies. Fairly soon, before Tuesday anyway, so I'll probably do that over the weekend. As I say, I'm thinking I want to start a new playthrough of Fallout 4, because all of the chatter around it has kind of got me thinking about that. So I'll probably spend tomorrow putting together a new mod list and see how that goes. And if all goes well, we might stream some Fallout 4 on Sunday. So if I'm going to put a mod list together, tomorrow is probably going to be a busy day on that front. But I think that's the plan. Provisionally. We'll see how it goes and how long it takes and what happens and such. So, yeah. With a pinch of salt, we'll see what happens for Sunday. Otherwise, on Monday, we're back to The Last Caretaker, which would be cool. Looking forward to pushing on with that. And, from there, we shall see how we do. We'll probably pick up The Outer Worlds again on maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. We'll see. See what mood I'm in. Wednesday would be good, I think, to push on a bit, but I will see how I feel. Video-wise, other than that, plan for another build. We'll see what happens, because there's a whole load of news on the... Well, there's definitely going to be more Fallout 4 stuff to cover next week. Because I know at the very least there's a hotfix, and we'll see what else is happening on the 76 front, maybe, and so on. There's supposed to be a bunch of... anniversary, Fallout 76's birthday events going on at the moment. The only thing I've vaguely heard of is that they're running Big Bloom event at the moment. And I only heard about that in passing, so whatever they're doing for this anniversary, I've not got any idea, which means they're really, really doing a poor job of promoting it. So, because, if it hasn't reached my ears... given the amount of attention I pay to such things, you'd think I don't know. Anyway, hopefully, we'll see if anything else cool happens. So, yeah, I'll have a rummage around. Anyway, lots happening. As I say, if you haven't already, videos on what's in the anniversary edition, videos on the new Fallout Season 2, what was it? Season 2 trailer, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, that went up last night, so if you want to check that out, then yeah, dive in and have a look. Today was fashion. I see, they're doing a different seasonal event each day, are they? I had no idea. I mean, I haven't logged into the game, so there's that, but if I didn't know about it, they are doing a terrible job of promoting it. Because it's not in the Discord, it's not coming up on their socials. What the hell are they doing? I don't know. I wonder if half of it's got to do with the fact that Microsoft decimated the team that would normally handle such things. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I guess we'll find out, won't we? If it's for what it seems to be, though, I'm not terribly excited about it. There's more interesting things going on elsewhere at the moment. Here's what it is, isn't it? Anyway, onward and upwards. So, yeah, maybe a Fallout 4 stream on Sunday. We'll see how that goes. If I can get a decent modded, decent mod list and modded playthrough set up in time. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, for now, thank you for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll push back on with this next week. Same with The Last Caretaker. There was a patch for The Last Caretaker today, so some good changes in there from the sound of things. It's like they're chipping away at it. Looking forward to diving back into that. Yeah, we'll crack on next week. So, thank you for hanging out. You know where the buttons are if you haven't already. Like, subs, notification bell, all the good stuff. Social media links in the description. Channel memberships down below the stream as well. Playlists if you want other things to watch. And plenty of other videos in the last little while too. So lots to keep you busy over the weekend if you're looking for something. Otherwise, have yourself a good weekend. Look after yourself. Stay safe. Don't work too hard. All that good stuff. And I will see you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, maybe on Saturday, maybe on Sunday rather, failing that on Monday. Should be cool. So, until then, I'll see you next time. No, folks. Take care.
No.